Chiffon is like milk. If you put it on your body, it will feel you, but Georgette, it will scratch you more, just more. But like, hello everyone, it's your girl Yele. Drum roll, no problem. I'm just going to go straight into it. So today, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about three main things. The first thing is how to source for fabric. I know lots of you have been like, Yeli, where do you get this fine African print from? Where do you get this fine? Don't worry, I got you. I'm going to give you my blog right now, right here. The second thing is what fabric to use for what project. Like, you know, I want to make this kind of thing. What kind of fabric should I go to the market to go and look for? I got you too. I'm going to talk about that. And then the third thing is, what do I do when I get a particular fabric and it's looking like it's not going to work for the projects that I want to use it for? So those are the three main things. So stay tuned and let us get into it as we go in the Yele Nation. That's how we roll. The first thing, where do I source for my fabric? So I source my fabric from like all over the place. Everywhere, anywhere, shoppable to shop, I will shop there. The first place that I go to when I have like something in my mind that I want to make, the first place that I go to is Mood Fabrics. I know Mood Fabrics is very good for expensive kind of fabric. Like, you will be seeing fabric of $100 and something per yard, and you just have to retrace your step to go and look for the $4 per yard fabrics. You know, that kind of thing. But I know that Mood Fabric has a wide range, you know, a wide price range, so you can find something that is decently priced and you can go all the way to the top. It depends on you. So the first place is moodfabrics.com. The second place that I go to if I want to look for something unique, something that I know that nobody else will have that kind of fabric, I go to swatchonofficial.com. The only thing with Swatch On is that you have to be like a fashion designer. Like, you have to be like a verified fashion designer. You have to be fashion business to actually purchase stuff from, you know, swatchon.com. Another place where I get, especially where I get my African prints, because I know that a lot of you are in love with my African prints. The place I get my African print.com, please don't tell anybody, is Alibaba or Aliexpress.com. I know some of you already know those kind of places, but you know, I just wanted to reiterate the point. So if you go to Alibaba, for example, the reason why I use Alibaba is because I can buy in bulk, and at the same time I can reach out to the supplier and tell them that I need this thing within a week or 2 weeks. Can you make it happen for me? So it's sort of like they do a DHL Express kind of thing or a FedEx kind of thing, where you can get your fabric on time, instead of Aliexpress where the shipping is free and then you have to wait like 2 months, 3 months, or you wait till you grow old before you get your fabric. Anyone, is up to you, but at least you know that the shipping is free on Aliexpress. So my Alibaba plug, I go in, I send a message to like a seller that I think, you know, we are vibing together, and I'm like, and they're always ready to help you. They're always like, let's talk on WhatsApp, or you know, let's talk somewhere else where, you know, we can easily, quickly vibe and do our business sharp. So I have one particular plug, or no, I think I have like 3 plugs, yes, that I just send message to. Do you have this fabric? How soon can I get this fabric? And then they send it to me and they give me the tracking number and everything like that. So Alibaba is a great plug for you to get your African print fabric, your whatever, you know, kind of fabric that you know that you might not see some like in regular places in the United States, or you know, wherever it is that you might be in. Now, my Adire fabrics, I get that done in Nigeria. So those ones, they are like specially made for my brand. If I see that fabric anywhere else, is a counterfeit. Just know that. So those kind of fabrics, I get them from Nigeria. I get them printed from Nigeria. They have my name, my logo, and symbols that I like, colors that I like. I put them together on, you know, together with the person that designs the fabrics. If you need the plug or you need his plug, put your question in the comment section. I'm not going to say his name in front of everybody. Ask me a question, then I'll reply you with this, you know, information if you need that. Okay, so another place, a very interesting place that you can get fabric, is Etsy. Etsy.com. If you go to Etsy, you can get like all the different types of fabric. Like, sometimes I get surprised, really surprised, when I go on Etsy and I find a particular kind of fabric that I've been looking for. I haven't found it anywhere, but I found it on Etsy. It's very interesting. So you should check out Etsy.com. And the reason why I go on Etsy is because I don't like get extremely expensive stuff on Etsy. Like, the price range is usually very sensible, and there are lots of vendors from China, Australia, Switzerland, Nigeria, like lots and lots and lots of like options that you can go through with Etsy.com, unlike all the other places where it's like, you know, mostly from a particular country. Like Swatchon is from Korea, you know, Mood Fabric is from like Nigeria. I'm sorry, I said Nigeria. Pardon me. Mood Fabrics is from like the US, but if you go on Etsy, it's everywhere. Ukraine, everywhere. Like you get fabric from, you know, all over the country. Now there's some situations whereby I need my fabric urgently. I cannot afford to shop online to get my fabric, so I go to Joann for that. For that kind of situation, a client needs something like sharp. You have to walk into the store at this point. I'm sorry, my dear, there's nothing that I can do. You have to go to a walk-in store. You go to Joann, you go to Micheals, and they have pretty, you know, okay selection. But I love to shop online, because I will see all the different types of things that I like. You know, I can read all the description that I want to read. I can read what kind of fabric it is, the composition that is it polyester, is it rayon, is it silk? I can see everything in the description online, compared to, you know, going to a store and they'll just put 20% something, 30% something, and then you'll be like, I don't really get this thing. You now have to look for someone to be explaining those things to you. But all right, if you want to physically go to you have to walk into a store to do that. Now we're finished talking about my fabric plug. If you have any question, just hit me up in the comment section. You know, I got you. The second thing is what fabric to use for what project. Now there are different kinds of fabric. I cannot cover all the different types of fabric, and I don't want to go into the theory of everything. I don't want us to just move to practical and physical. Now, if you want to make like a simple project, you're a learner and you are trying to make something because you're a learner, just go straight for cotton. Cotton was made for you as a learner. Please don't go and play with satin. Don't go and play with rayon. Don't go and play with chiffon. Don't go and play with it and then cry that your village people are following you. They didn't follow you. It's you that did not pick the right fabric to use. Please just go straight to cotton. You want to do quilting, you want to make simple stuff, just use cotton. You are trying to learn something new, use cotton. Now, if you want, now there are different kind of sheer fabrics. Like if you want to use like something lightweight, something light, you know, you have moved from beginner to intermediate sewer. We are welcome to the club. You are moving from beginner to intermediate sewer, and you want to, you know, experiment with fabrics and stuff like that. You can use chiffon, you can use georgette, you can use organza, you can use satin. Now these four fabrics that I mentioned, they are drapey. You know, they flow. They have a kind of flow to them. And most times people confuse three together. They confuse the chiffon, confuse the organza, and confuse the georgette. Those three, they confuse three of them together. The satin, they don't confuse it as much because satin is very thick on its own. Everybody can recognize satin with the way it glosses and flows, the way it does, you know, its thing. Now for the chiffon and organza is stiffer than chiffon. Both of them might look alike, but organza is stiffer. If you make a top with an organza, it will puff up. It will be very proud. It's a bit like genge, I've arrived. But when you use chiffon will just be, oh, don't worry, I'll just caress your body and flow on your body. So I don't know if you understood that analogy that I use, but just know that chiffon is very stiff, while organza is very stiff, while chiffon is more flowy. Now georgette and chiffon. Georgette is less see-through than chiffon. Chiffon is more see-through than georgette, number one. And number two, when you feel the georgette, like if you touch the body or you feel the fabric of the georgette, it has like sort of like granules. It's not as smooth as chiffon. Chiffon is very smooth. Chiffon is like milk. If you put it on your body, it will feel you, but georgette, it will scratch you more, just more. But like it just has that kind of like granular feeling to it. So that's the difference between georgette, chiffon, and organza. Now our satin. Everybody loves to use satin. We use satin for everything. We use satin to sleep. We use satin for bonnet. If you are familiar with my channel, like almost everything that I use for my hair is always satin, something. But then there are different grades of satin at the same time. There's like satin polyester. That's the most common one. It's just shine. That's what we want it to shine. So there's satin polyester, there's satin chamois, there's silk satin. There are different kinds of satin, and you will know by their price. There's $2.99 per yard satin, there's $4.99 per yard satin, there's now like $100 per yard satin. You will know by the price, the grade of satin you should use. If you are a beginner, please use like $2.99 per dollar satin. Like I'm not saying that you didn't know how to use fabric, but but like just use like the cheaper one and then start upgrading as you upgrade the kind of satin that you use. So like if you have any question on that too, just ask me in the comment section. I'll get right back to you on that. And then if you want to make something stiff, and you want it to be opaque, you don't want something transparent, because everything that I've been talking about, they've been sort of like silky and smooth and a little bit transparent. If you want something thick, you can use taffeta, you can use cotton, but like a higher grade of cotton, like something really, you know, stiff and nice. You can use a satin. There's Duchess satin, the thick kind of satin. You can go for heavy satin. Like if you want to make a bridal dress, you don't use chemise satin, because chemise might be too light for what you want to do. You have to go online and look for like Duchess satin, or look for heavy satin or bridal satin. So that is for when you want a dress with structure. You can use brocade. Brocade is like one of my favorite structure kind of fabric, because it not only is stiff, but it has that, you know, those nice drawings that make it look, make it look one kind of like that. Just gives it, you know, an exquisite kind of look. Now for stretchy fabric, stretchy fabric, there is jersey knit fabric. There is scuba. Scuba is like our favorite kind of stretchy fabric. You can use anything that has spandex in it is going to be stretchy, and anything that they say is knit, K-N-I-T, they say the fabric is knit, then you know that that fabric stretches. So those are the kind of clues that you look for when you are looking through the description of a particular fabric for your particular project. Now on to the next one. What do you do when a fabric doesn't meet your expectation? Now let's say the fabric is too see-through. Like you did not read the description very well, because if you read the description very well, you will have known. You are like me, I don't read the description like that. Even though I'm advising you to read the description, most times I don't read it. But if you didn't read it and then you get a fabric that is different from what you were expecting, like if it is too light, you can either do one of two things. You can, one, line the fabric with another fabric so that the other fabric underneath it would give the fabric outside structure. And number two, you can use an interface. Now there are different kinds of interface that you use for like different kind of projects. If you want it to just be slightly heavier, you can use something called an airstay or a lightweight interface. And if you want something stiffer, you can use a medium weight interface, and there's also the heavyweight interface. Now if you want a fabric to have like that kind of sweater like thickness, you can actually get a fleece interface. So it depends on what kind of interface you want for what kind of project you want. So if you want it to be thicker, you know that you need an interface to make it thicker, or you need a lining to give it more structure from underneath. Now if you now buy a fabric that is too thick, the only advice I can give you is to not use lining for the fabric, or you just look up to God, the author and finisher of your faith, because there's nothing that you can possibly do to it. You probably have to return it and get another fabric, because once it's thick, it is thick. Even when you wash it and wash it to soften it, it might still remain thick. So with this little piece of advice that I give you, I hope you can walk into the store next time or go online next time while shopping for fabric. Know where to get the fabric, know what kind of fabric to get, and read description on the fabrics. So thank you, Yele Nation, for sticking with me to the end of the video. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to like it, don't forget to share it, don't forget to subscribe, and if you have any question, meet me in the comment section. Bye.